Good evening. Hello, hello. My name is Makrain Haruna. I stand against deception in church, and today we'll be talking about one of the tools and ways to curb the excesses of church. We'll be speaking with Davidson. He's going to be talking to us about database. He's a guru in that field. That's what he does. Where we'll be talking about that as a tool for national development, as a tool also for curbing the excesses of churches and those people, and so many other things. Welcome, Sister May. Thank you, Ma. Welcome, welcome. Yvonne, thank you. You're welcome. My sister, Yakus. Thank you, sister. I was reading, did you see my reply to that comment? Honestly, Sister Yakus, things are happening. So I believe that having a centralized, informed database, a centralized, accurate database. It's an ongoing thing. You can never collate data completely because every day it increases, it improves. Every day a child is born, every day a new thing happens and things like that. So these are the things we need to move our country forward, because in the viewpoint of United Nations, statistical information, is a veritable tool, to power an economy for growth, for development. It powers us. When you can sort these things out because you know how to cater for this, you can create structures to match, the data you have. You can create facilities to match people, so the whole essence is to develop the nation. The whole essence is to curb the excesses of these people. If our country is developed, if our system is fixed, is not failed, honestly, church cannot scam us again. It's hunger. Part of the things that push us to these churches is hunger that will make somebody to attend a church that they call cucumber service, carry cucumber fruit, vegetable, that green long one, cucumber. You'll be doing it, holy anointed cucumber in church, cucumber service, coconut service, if they be hunger, because we have a failed system, which we must address. If this thing does not stop, these people will continue to finish Nigeria, ravage Nigeria to nothing. Honestly, they will gather our people Sunday to Sunday through the week, and fleece them, because people are hungry, people are desperate, and they capitalize on our desperation, they capitalize on our hunger, they capitalize on our mumu, they capitalize on our lack of, studiousness. I don't know. They capitalize on, like when a woman is desperate for fruit of the womb, church can do anything with her. And it's so unfair, because what I believe is that at that point, that is when you uphold such a person. That is when you encourage such a person. And that's when you help such a person. I always say, I see no reason why churches cannot, all these fruitfulness classes that they organize for people that are trusting God for fruit of the womb. I see no reason why those churches will not bring in medical experts, to come speak to this gathering of women and men and people, and say to them, you've checked yourselves, go to hospital. If you've not seen the result, go further, try the IVF, tell them what it's all about, and go a step further as a church and help them with finances, because these things are not necessarily cheap. So encourage people, help them. That's what I feel. Because if people are in desperate state and the system is not working, we'll continue to fall for scams. We'll continue to be at the mercy of those people. That's why charlatans will stand at the so-called pulpit and say, celebrate somebody that said you traveled without passport and visa, astral projection, witchcraft, abyss spirit, or what. You condone, they celebrate illegality, celebrate criminality, celebrate, mediocrity, when you should scold, Stop such practices. Tell people not to endanger their lives going to Europe through the high seas. Fish, you end up in the belly of the fish. And if your name is not Jonah, it will not spit you out after 3 days and 3 nights, So that's just by the way, So don't endanger people's life. Don't encourage that. That kind of thing I saw in Chris Okafor's video will make somebody today to say, so it's okay for me to arrive Europe. I can now go. They pay these agents so much money. They suffer. I've read stories, how they do to become sex slaves. Some women, they become maids to people. They're enslaving them. They are using them. They are at the mercy of the agents. They have nothing. They have no means of living there, no documentation, nothing. At the end of the day, they pack them like sardines inside one boat. They go to Europe. The ship is perishing. They reaches a place where no country wants to take them in. They are just hanging on the waters. It's so pathetic because these are people like me and you. And why would if you have a system that is working, these things will not be so. People will not endanger their lives. Why are we people running out? Because they don't have a nation. Our country is, like yesterday we're doing this program, and Nana said he used to say to people to go get their PVCs. Now I'm saying to people, go get visas. It's reached that point where people want to go away. You even want to encourage people to run away because what's going on? Nothing is working. That's why we have to fix our country, so that even if you're not in Nigeria, you can know that you have a home, you can have a place to go back to, because you've got family members, you've got friends, you've got relatives, it's a place you can go back to. You have your home, you have your holiday, you can go for your holidays and all of that. But if it's not working, we're afraid of kidnappers, we're afraid of armed robbers, we're afraid of stop and search police, inner lights, this one, we're afraid of Boko Haram, we're afraid of pastor, we're afraid. I tell you, I was chatting with a sister from the US a couple of days back, and she said a friend of hers that goes to a church to redeem. She was telling her that she went to church that particular day. All she did throughout service was to be praying that man gets minister that I will not ask for seed. It's so pathetic. You go to church, see the prayer point. There's so much prayer points to pray. You're not praying for pastor not to ask for seed. See how desperate we've gotten into. And we have to still go there. Why? We put these people. So we just want to clean up. We want our nation cleaned up. We want this church cleaned up so that we can be comfortable. So that when people even actually are going for this fellowship, they are going joyfully. Not that you're praying. And throughout service, she said she sat through the service and praying that the man of God will not raise seeds. Hi. I will not even stay. I won't pray that kind of prayer because it's not by. I will walk away. Which seed? And this somebody that is saying this must have been tired of sowing. And they, apart from being tired of sowing without seeing any result. Your results are not dependent on what you sow. I tell you, if you're doing your business, your dividends will come to you. You're selling your goods and services, your dividends will come to you. You're working under anybody. It's mandatory for you to be paid your wages. So it's not your prayer and fasting. It's your act. Is your labor, is your hard work, is your toil, that will get you where you're going to. You will walk. You cannot pray and fast you can't circumnavigate around this thing. You cannot shortchange it. You cannot, if you're sick, you cannot use prayer and fasting. Of course you can pray, but your prayer and fasting should be also done with wisdom. You're going to hospital to seek medical attention. Who told you that it's not the prayer that is making the medication work in the first place? Because you must pray. And you have the added advantage of Christ the healer being your savior. So what is your problem? But you sit down. You will not take blood transfusion. You will not do IVF. You will not do CS. You will not do malaria. Your injection will not touch you. You will not do this. You will not see doctor. You will throw away medication. You will throw away glasses. You will throw away everything without any advice. Because your pastor, who is not a doctor, who is not a financial expert, who is not anything, will tell you what to do. He will be the one to tell you when they are doing programs in church, business forum, leadership forum. Who are the teachers? The same pastor. When they be, what is his school? What is his qualification to teach on that? If they are talking about finance, the same pastor when no even get pass economics for school or accounting or whatever. They will not bring experts because they don't mean well for you. They just want to seem to be doing something. So they will gather you people and gather us workers training. They'll come and train us. Pastor, tell us how to be workers. What is workers training? To sweep sweep toilet, wash toilet, sweep the sanctuary. The list goes on and on. That's why I'm doing this program. That's why I'm talking. And that's why I'm shouting out. And a shout out to everybody that is here. They have overshot their boundaries. Yes, Sister Chika. They have used us too much. We have gone too deep, skin deep in this rubbish. Oh God. Sister May says those empires should be closed or regulated tightly. Sister May, and that is the reason for this kind of program, so that there can be regulation, there can be collation of. I just said what a UN point of view on statistics or database is all about. It's a driving force for national development. When who they go, like we're saying yesterday, Davidson was talking about. Davidson, are you here? Welcome, Sir Mary, dear. Yakuzi concur, thank you. They have given pastors so much power that they tell them whom to marry. Imagine, go to your pastor first. These are the people with respect. Is that if your own children, you want them to go straight to pastor? What has pastor got to do with a child's marriage apart from to officiate it? What is it? So when there's any issue, is the pastor that? So when they don't have food, God forbid, will the pastor give them food? Will you not run back to your mother and your father? Why would pastor be the one to tell you anything? That's what we were talking yesterday. Davidson was talking about, you pray and fast for a car. Like where he lives, you don't need a car. System is working. You come out, you go enter, go bus station, go train station, you go car, go where they go. The car self is even a disadvantage. You're paying a road tax. You're looking for parking. My parking tickets I've got, how many I don't even want to count them. If I have my way, will I even be doing that? We don't even need it. Who wants to go through all of those stress if a system is working? I told my children that one day soon we'll just be walking, because when they were younger, I needed the car for ferrying them to and fro activities. But now everybody don't go. They even go out themselves, and they go to school by themselves. They go to some places by themselves. So we can now be doing bus. It's working. So these are the things we need back home. Welcome, my sister Elizabeth Francis. Thank you, sister. God bless you, everyone. Thank you. So, yes. Davidson is just going to do the rest of the talk for us. Honestly, data is a driving force for economic growth. I was reading research work, on Nigeria and Botswana, on the importance of statistics, a database for national development. I was amazed. I thought before data is just 1, 2, 3 people here. Now 1, 2, 3. No, it's beyond that. It's technical and it's deep, and it creates sanity. It's not coming on. Doing a live program or messenger call came in. Davidson, please send a request, because it's saying can't bring Davidson on camera. Okay, so the cleanup must be holistic. Everything we're doing must be holistic. We can't be doing pockets of data here and there. I was saying, like the BVN in Nigeria, it can't work as sufficient for data collation. In my village, there's only one bank called one first bank branch in the bigger city, my local government area. In the villages, no banks at all. These people don't have bank accounts. They are not listed. So if that is what you're going to use, for example, as a step, then you're disenfranchising my people, and you're secluding us from being part of the data, part of the nation. We're not in it because they don't know us. We cannot be accounted for. If that is the yardstick, for collating that. If you're going to take data of people living with HIV/AIDS, and you do it only pregnant women that go for antenatal, that they have to do testings for us, it won't work, because that's all, and this is a population of how many, and then you use that as data, it won't work. If we need unemployment data, we need all kinds of statistical data. I was just writing a list of the kind of data we need to have in Nigeria, and centrally and accessible, okay? The kind that will... Davidson, please send me wanting to join the camera, because the video, because I can't, it's not coming on. You must come, add. Can't bring Davidson on camera. Let's do it like yesterday. Obina, welcome. Chris Joe, welcome. Thank you. Olive, my sister, welcome, welcome. I said, I don't know if you've received your oil, Olive. We'll talk about that. Chris Joe, yeah, thank you. Susan Emike, thank you, welcome. Gbemi David Lawal, thank you. John Weke, thank you. Samuelu, thank you, welcome. Mary Odia, thank you. Thank you. Please, it's interactive. Wasila, welcome. Let's interact. Let's write our comments. Let's talk about it. Honestly, workers training, that's where the control starts. It's all about control. We go for our own workers training then 5 a.m. and we are going to church to watch it online because it comes from headquarters. Everything is done by one man. One man is the one that knows about leadership, knows about training, knows about accounting, knows about everything. Is one man. If you want to train people with sincerity, bring experts that have studied this thing, that know it, that have been doing it. What makes somebody an expert is when that is what the person does, he continues to do it, so he's used to it, so it comes out naturally from that person. You be pastor, you go, they preach, they collect tithes and offering. That is your own. What is your own? We're talking about health, we're talking about leadership, talking about all those trainings. Call the people that know it. Pay them money to come and do resource persons and give talks. That's what genuine organizations do. They get experts in this field. They may pay so much money, but then it's for the development of their business. So it's for the development of these human beings that God has placed you as their shepherd. If you're truly a shepherd, if you're truly a pastor. But if it's hunger, stomach infrastructure ministry that pursued you to start this thing, then that's how we'll continue. And what I call out to people is to please use sound minds in whatever you do. Somebody will tell you coconut service, cucumber service, and bring cucumber, everyone carry cucumber, raise up. How do we feel doing such things? How? People are drinking rubbish inside of church. One was bathing himself with oil, pouring anointing, bathing himself. Pastor, what is that? All these gimmicks, all this control, just to make people think that is it. This is the final bus stop. You can't do it otherwise or differently from this. This is the way it's got to be. It's not so. Sister Mary says pastor is one man business. That is why they preach on every area they don't know. I tell you, sister, one man business is the pastor that knows everything. How? If in medical practice, maybe there is the one that will do eye, the ophthalmologist. There is the one, the ENT. There is the one for there is the one for dentist. Different things. So this one, they are general practitioners of pastor. Every pastor knows it all. He will teach you accounting in church. He will teach you every subject in church. Like in my own church before, only the pastor will preach. Nobody else can preach. No, because nobody knows it. Only you. Now only you waka come. Now only you know him. Now only you get Bible. Now only you get different versions of Bible. Now only you the Bible know they market for other people. That is control. We can't be controlled by human beings. It is even ungodly to be controlled by human beings. I learned from Dr. Adelaja when he was teaching us when Cornelius was, he prayed. The Bible says that the angel appeared to him and said, Cornelius, your prayers and your almsgiving has been heard. And God sent Peter to him. Ahead of time, God had prepared Peter and gave him that vision where he saw the different kinds of birds, different four-footed, all those things. And, Peter said, you want to touch unclean things. And God said, don't call anything I've created unclean. Which means the Gentiles, those ones that you're seeing as unclean, we are all one. This is what Christ was saying to him. So Peter went there. Cornelius was going to bowing down to Peter. And Peter pulled him up and said, no, don't do that. Me and you, we did this thing together. We'll be brethren. So there is no form of control. Any form of control is evil, is anti-scriptural. It is. I read in the book of Revelation, when the angel came to John was bound. I said, see that you don't do that. Worship God. Don't bow down to me. I'm your fellow, he said to John. I'm your fellow servant. We they do this thing together. It's only God you bow down to. Don't say that you don't do it. Worship God. We worship these people. We bow down to them. I've seen some pictures. The pastor is passing. People are kneeling and doing like this, holy reverencing human beings. Oh, Sister Samara, welcome. Welcome, Samara. Welcome, Sylvia. Welcome. Thank you. Sister Odinaka Angel, God bless you, ma. Say only them want to teach. Yes, only them, sister. They have suspended our spirit from hearing. Oh, God, come on. We do. Sister Ronke, welcome. Sister Chinwe, welcome. There is God, though, Sister Chinwe. There is God. Honestly, there is God. Yes, one man's business, Sister May says. It is too much. It's too much. I'm still looking for Davidson. It's too much. Honestly, what they do, we need to come out of that. We need to not let these people continue. And people need to stop these things, please. You bring people and gather them and tell people your mother is a witch, kill your mother. When I've read in my own Bible, where the Bible says you should honor your father and your mother so that your days may be long. In Ephesians 6, again, 1 to 3, it was referencing Exodus and said it is the first commandment with a promise that your days may be long. That the first commandment with promise. And then somebody tells you to kill your mother because he's a pastor. Let the pastor's own child be told to kill the pastor. How you go feel? What? And the people that commend them, I was reading posts saying that he's a prophecy he heard. Which prophecy? The Bible says the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. So it's what the prophet decides to hear that he will hear. That's why I say, yes, God. Should I tell them? Is that how we speak with God? You're doing like, yes, God. I should tell them. What is that? What kind of gimmicks is that? What kind of rubbish is that? I don't know where these people came from. I don't know the people that are listening to them, what is wrong with them. Even though I used to be like that, but now because I'm out, I believe that everybody should be out. We've all heard. Have we not heard? People are talking, people are crying out loud. They will sell oil, put their photo on it. I heard someone, they said the person went to heaven and snapped photos in heaven, took photos in heaven and is selling them on this earth. Hey, who bewitched us? Hey, who bewitched Africans? Who bewitched Nigerians? Drama. Hey, I am Lois. Welcome. Bolly, welcome, my sister. God. Idolatry must stop in the church. Thank you, John Wiki. It has to stop. How do we stop it? What do we do? That's what we're talking about. What do we do? Everybody has to be part of this movement. Honestly, everybody has to be part of this movement. We all have to stop it. We must speak. We must share, rub minds together. Share our opinions. How to do it. What do we do? We're doing well. We have able people. God is helping us. That God has raised to be going out to the streets, to be meeting the needs of people, helping out. Plenty of us are helping, sending the small things we can so that people are reached and shown the love of God. It's not enough. Don't let them go by. You give them money to go and eat. They take it back and give these people. The brainwash must stop. How do we stop these people? How? What do we do? That's all we're talking about. And that's what we'll keep talking about till we find the solution, till it stops. It must stop. Pastor will not be working. Why are you not in a paid employment? Or why are you not doing business? Why are you not working? Why are you not having any form of cause and effect? Why you will say that is not our money. Whose money are you using? That the free say your pastor is preaching prosperity and he's saying he's not, he cannot show you his business. Then it's your money. So he's a thief. Ole, bye-bye. That's what Damina said we should be telling them. Welcome, Davidson. Davidson is here. Grace, welcome, my darling. Welcome. Grace Andrew, my small sister, my daughter. That pastor was experiencing auditory hallucination. Sister Chima, I like you because you know how to hit it on them. That is just it. I'm telling you. I should tell them, yes, God, I should tell them. Who bewitched us? Who bewitched the pastor? Davidson, I have been doing too much research on database. I don't know what going to consign me join database. Read it and see, viewpoint of United Nations. I was reading it. They said is what will drive growth in an economy. And because of hunger, we are victims of evil. So we need the growth. So we need what to put in place so that the growth can come. We need the church to also be a contributory system. It's an establishment, great one that can form and shape a nation. How do we fix this thing? What do we do?
First of all, I want to appreciate you for bringing me on again. Madam McCrane, you're always doing an awesome job, and I love what you do. And I also want to appreciate your audience who are always there to follow up with you and listen to this to every broadcast on this platform. Say as much as I've been so engaging, I've been doing a lot of stuff. So, and that was why I couldn't really come on time online, and I apologize for the delay. So, actually, the situation on ground as we stand right now, I told you in our broadcast yesterday that when it comes to national development, in relation to what is going on in our community, in our environment, in the church, and everywhere. Um, I mean, economically, educationally, and everything. We have a problem. We have a failed nation. So because we have a failed nation, so the effect of that failed nation of the system that has failed is what we are seeing today. The manifestation is what we are seeing today. As in, you see a lot of people who go every now and then, who go to church to pray that God give me a house, God give me car, God give me this, and they use that to brainwash many people. It is just as a result of the failed system. In a system that, yesterday we were saying something that in a system that works, I mean, that there are some things you don't congest the desk of God for. There are some things you don't congest the agenda of God for. There are some things you don't congest the table of God for. There are some things that actually would just take natural course in a system that works. You know, yesterday I made an example. I said many people who, as in New York, for instance, many of them don't need cars. They don't need cars. They don't need vehicles because there's no reason for them to have vehicles. Many CEOs ride on their own bicycles. They ride on bicycles to go to work. Many founders, many people. So I was reading the story of this guy, um Warren Buffett.
Yeah, I saw
He
it.
he was he was a guy who actually had an old vehicle. So when these Westerners, when they come, people from nations that work, when they come to the continent of Africa, and they wear simple t-shirt, polo shirt, and maybe their pair of shorts, and they dress simple, they do all of that. We actually admire them. We as in we see them as people who live a simple life, despite the fact that they are making changes in their world, in the world around them. We admire them so much that we quickly forget that the reason why they are doing all those things is because they are not in pursuit of those glamorous things, of those flamboyant things, because they don't need them. They don't need them because the system where they live in, if they acquire too much of those things, they are going to have to pay taxes on them. They're going to have to pay for those things, and they're trying to cut their costs, which we admire as simple lives. So, and one of the reasons we have so much excesses in Africa, in Nigeria, where you're going to find people throwing money here and there in parties, where you're going to find a lot of ceremonies, a lot of OMBs every now and then, a lot of so many unnecessary things going on. These things are as a result of a nation that has failed. They're as a result of a failed system. And that is why we have too many of these dramatic heresies going
Yeah.
on everywhere. So that is what is going on with us. That is what our life is about in Africa. And for us to be able to solve these problems, that is why we are bringing the holistic approach to the table. We are talking about the database system of national development. Each time we talk about these things, some people don't understand it. They don't get it because they have never been there, because they don't have that vision. So they're not looking for a lot of times when people, I was saying it in a conversation earlier on today, that when you are not looking to solve a global problem, then you cannot have a global breakthrough. When you're not looking to, when all you think within your mind is to solve that your individualistic problem, then you should be expecting an individualistic solution. So when people come to the table to argue about database system or to argue about national development as a no solution thing, I tell them that there are solutions to our problems. Okay?
Absolutely.
And one of the
Absolutely.
holistic solutions that we can abort, that we can adopt to make this work is for us to bring in a database perspective. Let us account for all of us. Let us account for all of us in a nation, as a nation. Let us know who, as in, let us take Nigeria, for example, from being that space to having a content in that space. Okay? So because right now, as I talk to you at the moment, Nigeria does not have any system that functions. Check political activities going on in the country. Everything is just messed up. You see them they do things, and you just wonder that why can't this thing be done in a better way? What is going on? What is going on with this country? And when you see issues like this, when you see situations like this, you look at every other part of Africa. You see church members eating grasses. You see them eating grasses. You see them doing a lot of other. For what? Just because of overnight miracles. Because of overnight miracles. And why do our people need so much overnight miracles? Why are our people so desperate for overnight miracles? It is simply because we live in a system that has failed. And that is why we will continue to make quest for overnight miracles. Because if you live in, yesterday I was making an instance that in a system that works, you are not going to have that much time. You're not going to have that much time to go sit in the church 24 hours, 7 days a week. And many of these crusades that go on across the country, they will reduce because they will understand that people are working, people are busy. So part of why all these things are happening is because we have a failed system. It is only in a failed system that people will go to crusade. They will not miss a single day, a single moment of crusade, a 7 days crusade, for crying out loud. A 7 days crusade, and you will find thousands of people being in that crusade. Thousands of people being in that crusade. Those who cannot come will watch live broadcasts in their own local chapters.
Absolutely.
All day, every day, 7 days, throughout the day, 7 days. By the time you take eight functional hours, 8 daylight hours from 24 hours, you have nothing left.
Right. Davidson, this is one of my heart cry, because I did that too. And it's amazing now when I sit back from this position because I've come out of it now, and I see these things, I weep. And I'm like, how do you do that? We should change the system, because these people, we all are working for somebody of ourselves. So how can there be productivity? And the workers will go away from government work to go and stay in church, and then we still complain that Nigeria is poor. Whose fault is now?
Let me quickly say welcome to Beji. Welcome. Nigerians, Africans have a big problem. I am Lois said something earlier. The comment has passed, but I think I remember. She said, it's like from what was seen on social media, people are not ready to be set free. And so I was doing this fight for the next generation because our own generation is like we have already accepted this wrong and this evil. But I think we can still fight. Crusade now loss is a massive loss of productivity because you sit down. These are economic hours. That DSA wrote a book, Becoming Great Through Time Conversion. He talked about this African time. Everything about us doesn't matter. The time is is inconsequential to us, and that is wrong. Even God uses times and seasons to organize things, but we just mess up. It's because of that failed system. And Davidson, it's the failed system really that pushed us to this. But I thought the church is an organized system. I thought the church was an organized system that knows these things and that we help and correct it. Because if we go sitting in church are fixed, our nation will be fixed. Even if it's 50-50 Christians in Nigeria, for example, 50 fixed people, 50% fixed people, we have a working system already. But even church has data for their data of how much money was collected. In my former church, as soon as service is done, the first phone call that comes in is how much was made. I was in counting unit, so I know that. The second question is how many people came. It's not how many people even became believers or met Christ. It's how many people came. So they have data of how much money. That one, they cannot miss that data. And that's painful. We do church service Monday, Sunday, then we do the midweek service. The beginning of the month, we do the week of spiritual emphasis. So we do Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Sometimes that Friday is an all night, okay? And it's painful because the church should be able to have corrected things and not let it degenerate. Now, the church is the cause of half of the problem. The church is whining and dining with politics and spoiling politics the more. That's why somebody will carry 36 million naira as tithes to church. You don't care where the person got it from. That's how somebody will sell generators of government office where he works to take the money to church. Can the system be fixed? Can having let me one solve anything?
Yes, let me quickly bring us back to a little bit of history, so that we can know a little bit of where we are coming from, where we are right now, and where we need to be, or where we have to be. So, of course, a lot of these anomalies go on in the church, but the first question you ask yourself is,
is it actually? Welcome. Sorry, Dave said I just greeting my sisters online. Melody Obasa, welcome. Honestly, Lami says most churches are after your money and not after winning your soul for the Lord. Yes, and Yabeji said the so-called born again people are the worst employees you can ever employ. Absolutely, and they are the worst you can ever do business with. Yabeji.
Now, what I was trying to talk about is we have to look at the etymology of this problem.
Yeah.
Let's trace it from the source all the way to where we are right now and where we are going. Okay, so we talk about the church, and we can see so many anomalies going on in the church. But the first question we ask ourselves is, where is the church? The church is also situated in the same country. Okay, the same country that has produced a failed system is the same system that has produced the church that we are talking about. So the church is as well a victim of this situation. As much as you, an individual, you are a victim of this situation. Okay, so the church, whatever is going on in the church today, is an effectual manifestation of a failed system, which is the cause. Okay, so the nation is not working because there's no system that can make it work. And every individual, people are born again, But the born again that we have in people still get out of the church and live their daily lives, and they are subjugated to what is obtainable in the system, to what the system brings to them. Many are born again. If you want to collect your birth certificate as you speak, as we talk right now on this social media platform, if you want to collect your birth certificate, if you don't have one, you have to pay somebody at the secretariat to give your birth certificate, especially if you have urgent need for it. Is that not corruption? It is corruption. And you are a born again Christian, but you're going to do that, and you're not going to see it as something wrong, because you see it as your need, as an urge to that need, and you have to make this thing happen. You have to get that birth certificate. Birth certificate that literally in a functional system should not take you more than just some few punches on your phone and get it mailed to your address. But you have to go through all of this and make extra charges, extra payment in order to be able to get ordinary birth certificate, the country where you are born. So we have this problem. We have this problem. This is a very, very serious issue. We have a failed system, and when we say we have a failed system, we mean it. It is something serious.
Yes, absolutely. It is serious.
So the church, with the way they go about their style of religious practices and all of these things going on, their brainwashing and all these things, they are products of a failed system. Let us get to understand that. Let us get to realize that. And I'm going to cite as many instances as I can, as possible here. So when these churches come up with different type of dramatic activities, for example, when I cited an instance that why would a church conduct a 7 or 14 days or 21 days crusade, for crying out loud, and people have to be there morning till night or stay hours, for crying out loud? In what economy? Where does that happen? These people are dragging back the economy. And why do you think they're going to stay that much longer in that type of situation? Because many of them, they're not even recorded in the Ministry of Labor as employees of any type of job. They do not have jobs. These guys don't have jobs. So, and they are mentally subjugated to that condition that is going to make them stay under that crusade in the name of miracles. Even when the system can actually provide the miracles for them.
Absolutely. The things we call miracles back home is
the things we call miracles. They are the necessities that can be provided by the system, by a functional system. Absolutely. Not the government. I'm not talking about the government. Nope. The government, I'm talking about a system. It is the system, is the functional system that will drive a working government. If there's no functional system, now the reason that I keep talking about system, like I was trying to refer us to the history line, is because from inception in most countries across Africa, give into account that there are 54 countries in Africa, okay? So in most of these countries, we have said it that there are less than 2% of the 54 countries in Africa that actually have a system that looks like a system. We made a slight reference to South Africa. We made a slight reference to another country, possibly Kenya. Now, these guys, yet, they have problems because they don't have a system that work. They don't have a system that work optimally, but they still look like something good. They look very close to the Western world because they have a little bit of a system that can drive them for the moment. Now, let's go back to ourselves. From every country in Africa operates on a perspective of national development. And I'm gonna make us understand what that means. So we have the systemic perspective of national development. We have the structural perspective of national development. How do you talk about situations? What makes up the existential nature of mankind, for crying out loud? What is it that makes up the existential nature of mankind, if not the structure and the function? Look at your body parts. Look at your body parts. Your hands, your head, and every part of your body. They are structures. What makes them function? If you don't have a heart, how can your hand function? If you don't have brain, how can your body coordinate? So these are functionalities in our body. The functionality of your digestive system is the reason you have a stomach. The functionality of your neurons is the reason your fingers can fold. So when you cut off a structure, it doesn't matter, because there's still something that can create an alternative function.
Yep.
But you cannot build a house without knowing what functions the house wants to serve. That is when you know the function the house wants to serve. That is when you can know how many rooms you need to build. That is when you can know what size of bedrooms do you need. That's when you can know how bigger do you want your living room to be. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you cannot build something. You cannot do anything whatsoever without first putting the function forward. You need to consider the function of everything before you talk about the structure. You want to build a car. If you don't know what the car is going to be doing optimally, how do you know the type of design you want to build for that car, for crying out loud? So these are factors to consider in national development, rather than considering the functionality of our system as something that should be a foundation, that should be a bedrock of national development in Nigeria and in entire Africa. We rather consider structure as the priority. So when you consider structure as the priority, that is where the problem starts from. And that is something that has been, in existence since, just name it, time immemorial.
Yep.
It has been in existence forever. See, the reason why we didn't know these things, before now is the fact that we had very few population. We have very few people that the structural pattern could manage. So Nigeria had been run since time immemorial in a monarchical perspective, in a monarchical system. So we have been running Nigeria like in a rulership pattern. That is why we have godfathers up to today. We run Nigeria in a rulership pattern. I'm still on the etymology, so I'm still on that historical pattern. So when you consider this structural perspective, how when they think of something, the leaders are the ones that think of what the people would need. The leaders are the ones that think of how they need to construct road in this neighborhood. Even when they don't know how many people live in that neighborhood that use that road. They need to build school in this community. Even when they do not know how many students are going to be attending that school. They don't know if only one school is enough. They don't know if 10 schools are supposed to be in that community. And you see many classrooms in Nigeria overcrowded. Because all we do is the structural perspective of national development. That has to stop.
That has to stop. Hold on. Let me greet our people and read some comments. Welcome. Nana Azarai, thank you. Welcome. Sister Jane Osaka, thank you. Thank you. Sister Boliboli says everything about church now is money, money. Money, money, money. Honestly, Sister May, welcome. Yes, we've greeted. Thank you, everyone. Just to say welcome to Sister Chioma. Thank you, Sister Joy. Thank you, Usman Kumo. Welcome. I appreciate you. Miles Ojabo, thank you, my brother. My brother Adewale Richard, thank you. Welcome and thanks for having me. Part of Bazi, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Sister Adasa Abakoshi, thank you, my sister. Welcome, Sister Lushola. Welcome, Sister Shalom. Thank you, everybody. Thank you as we keep on moving our nation forward. Thank you, Davidson. Go ahead, darling.
Yes. So as we have now, we have this structural perspective, and it has so much entrenched into us, so much more that the people today, or they ask the leaders, hey, give us electricity, that the nation will work. Give us road, that the nation will work. Give us transportation, the nation will work. Build our schools, the nation will work. Build our hospitals, the nation will work. Who tells you the nation will work? Those things have they not been built in time past? They were built. There are many gigantic hospitals in the East who today only bush rats live in those buildings. They are not used. They are abandoned projects. So those are structural perspectives of national development. When you build a hospital in a community that has just less than 2,000 people, you build a mega hospital right there. Who are the employees that will fill up that hospital? Who are those that will sustain and maintain that hospital? So these are questions of structural perspective of national development. And that is why we want to take that nation, we have to take it from that structural perspective, because it has failed. It doesn't work. It cannot sustain any nation. So that is why we are transcending from structural perspective to functional perspective of national development. So first of all, when you talk about functional perspective of national development, you are questioning yourself that what is the reason for something before you actually build that structure.
Yep.
That's what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah. You need to know why you are doing something before you go ahead and construct the structure. The structure just makes it look good. The structure just accommodates that functionality. So why are we so worried about electricity? Why are we worried about we must have electricity that the nation will work? When you don't even know how many people the electricity have to serve. When you don't know that your community alone, see, if we go through this functional perspective, the community alone can generate their own electricity, because they will know how many people such electricity will serve. And see, let me tell you something. That generator in that local government chairman's house, that 15 kVA generator in that councillor's house, in his constituency, may actually be able to power the whole of his community if function is put first before structure.
Okay.
Now,
let me read the scripture in Luke 14:28. Jesus says, "For which of you, intending to build a tower, he will not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it?" So is that like what you're talking about? Because you need to know what is the structure going to accommodate. You don't just, I've been mentioning that my estate where I live, not I don't own the estate, where I live in Abuja, they put the transformer there for us. As soon as people started moving in, the transformer crashed. We had no light, so everybody had to fend for themselves. Because they don't know what load, no projection. You don't know, because you should project that this estate starts at this point. In the next 3-4 years, this will be the population of that place. Apart from the population of people, everybody will come with their fridge. People will begin to sell water, kunu, everything. So you should have a base, a statistics of the load that transformer will carry. If not, no point putting it, because you gave me light for only a few days and that's it. And now I'm suffering, and I'm even used to the light and I'm not having it anymore. Everybody had to start looking for solutions. Solar and in my house, I have solar, I have inverter, because the blackout will not affect me. But how do we live like that? It's not cheap. You queue up for diesel, you queue up to get petrol. So what's that? How do we move on like that? There must be a functionality. The structure has to have a content, and you have to know the content, the number of that thing the structure is going to carry. You don't just build a structure and then is insufficient or is not standing well.
Thank you, Macron. And when I was digging deeper into this quest of trying to find a lasting solution to the problems of not just Nigeria, but every other part of Africa, and I got to realize that we have a problem of functionality of our system. We have a system that has failed, that does not function, and 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 one of those things that I've got to know, because just like Nana said now, see, our structural perspective does not function. They can't even provide the structure for us. So they can't even provide the structure for us.
Can I ask, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, if we have this function, these structures put in place and functioning, would that affect our value system? Will we now behave rightly and make sure we maintain, as you know, things work well? Or do we also need to fix our value systems as a people, as a nation, and even as a church, so that it will go pari passu with this thing we're talking about?
Now, I'm getting there. I'm getting there, and I'll answer that question holistically. So, but let's quickly talk about this entire functionality of our system. Okay, I'll see from there so that our people can understand. They can see a broader picture. They can see a bigger picture of what we mean by functionality in a system. So now, come to think of it, if we have a centralized database system in Nigeria, okay, if we have a centralized database system where every individual in the country is accounted for. I'm not talking about the phone. I'm not talking about BVN. I'm not talking about national ID card. I'm not talking about international passport. I'm talking about biometric identification number, uniquely coded for every individual based on their biometric account to put their identity into a centralized database system. So if we can take care of this part, if all of us are put in a centralized database system, and from that phase, every organization, every department, every agency, every ministry in a country is also incorporated into a centralized database system. When we do all of these things put together, including the churches, everybody is accounted for. There are many churches, mushroom churches, who are in so many remote areas. They are operated without any type of identification. They are not registered with the government. The government does not know them. That is why they kidnap people in those little communities, not just churches, many shrines. You want to operate a shrine. You cannot operate a shrine illegally. You should register a shrine. If you want to operate a shrine should be accounted for in a database. So let us know that is what you do. You are a shrine owner. You are a shrine operator. That is what you do. If the government needs to get tax from you, they will get tax. They will collect tax from you on the account that you operate a shrine. If your shrine is for non-profit organization, is for non-profit activities, we will consider it a non-profit activity, and we will question you. What other jobs are you intending to do? So that many people see many. Do you know how many people have gotten missing in Nigeria that we cannot ever find? That we cannot find.
I'm still looking for a relative.
See, ask me that. My uncle's, my first uncle's friend, all as in just one evening, called that he was on his way home. It was less than 20 minutes to arrive to the final destination, and that was the last call we got from him up till today.
Oh, come on.
Now, the same thing killed, the same thought, the hypertension that resulted from that antecedent killed his parents. Now, look at these wasted lives. We need to account to our people biometrically. When we account to our people biometrically and everybody is in a centralized database system, then all the organizations, all of them put together, any type of entity that contributes to the economy of Nigeria, as long as you operate on that land called Nigeria, you are going to be in a centralized database system, and we allot certain identification for you, because there's no corporation in Nigeria that is not owned by somebody. Somebody owns something. Even the biggest corporations in Nigeria. That is why many of these polluters, like I like to call them, many of these corrupt leaders, they have all their companies registered under some names, and we don't know who the owners are, because there's no database that can give account of the true owners of those companies, of those corporations. So we need to put this together. Many of them, they have different type of bank accounts registered all around, despite the existence of BVN. They have different type of bank accounts registered all over, and they have so much money in those bank accounts in different type of non-existing names, despite BVN. Many of them use somebody's face to front their riches, just because they don't want people to know how rich they are, because they have stolen so much money. It is because of the absence of database system. So when we have all these things, everybody's account in a centralized database system, then we can move forward to say that anything you want to do in that country, when it comes to security, people, as in, if you do anything, you commit any type of crime, it will be easy to just use your biometric identification to find you.
See,
so when you want to do business, go ahead.
You know, I'm just reading. Ezine says the average person born in Nigeria today doesn't even know that bribery is bad. You know, because they see their moms, their parents do it, practice it. They see it in government. You know, it's practice. You know, so you just grow up in it. You're born into it, so you just continue like that. And it keeps setting us backwards. It's so disheartening. I don't know if we all feel this pain, and I don't know. Go ahead.
Now, when we have all of these accounts of people in such a system, then you can take care of security, because everybody is identified. Anybody that does any type of drama, you can easily trace that person. They will become traceable. So nobody's just going to enter one village and kill as many as 200 people. And the only thing the government will say is, we commensurate with the family of the deceased. Are you kidding me?
Kidding me? That's it.
So that's all the government will say. So these things, they have to be taken care of. When we take care of these situations, then we can move forward from there. We can move forward from there and then begin to address the issue of other factors, including our finance. Let me tell you something about the growth of our economy. Our economy can actually grow in so many ways if we apply database system. And how can we do that? An average person, an average youth in Nigeria is a conceptualist. They have beautiful ideas, but they don't have finance.
Absolutely.
Ask an average individual in Nigeria who is a youth, an average graduate has that beautiful idea that he wants to do. He does not have finance. If he goes to the bank, do you know what they tell him? Go bring collateral. That's what they tell him. Go bring collateral. He does not have collateral. His father does not own a house. His father doesn't have anything. So they tell him, go bring collateral. So because he does not have collateral, such person will last too long in crusades. He will spend too much hours in revivals. Praying for what? Praying for that contact. Praying for that miracle to happen, just for that ghost, that angelic ghost to bring money to his doorstep. It is only in Nigeria that people will come to church and give testimonies that they found bag of money in the dumpster. It is only in Nigeria that happens. It doesn't happen in many places across the world, in nations that work. So
it's only in Nigeria. Pastor will say, we will get strange alert. It's only in Nigeria. Pastor will say, as you're going on the road, we will get money. I say, what's the name of the street? why do we give people some false hope? That's why we must talk these things, because these are the development things that we need to talk about. Let people know that there is a situation at hand and things have to be done. You're sitting down in the church is not going to solve this problem. You're praying and fasting is not going. You're giving that man money is not going to solve the problem. It will solve his own problem, but it leaves us the way we are, if not worse off. It leaves you the way you are, if not worse off, and that's why we can't continue to let it happen.
Yes, according to Michelle Swan, I just want to respond to this one. He said they need to stop foreign business investors a hard time. Okay, see, we cannot stop foreign business investors if you don't have a functional system. If we have a functional, that was where I was going when it comes to building, growing our economy. When we have a functional system, we as our youth or whoever has idea, anybody, it doesn't matter who has idea. When you have your idea, the bank is not going to ask you for collateral. Okay, all you do is you walk into, because the reason why banks ask you for collateral is because they know you're going to default, because they're going to run away and they're not going to be able to trace you. They cannot trace you. When they cannot trace you, they will definitely ask for something to hold you back so that you can come back to them. And a lot of times, because of so many activities of dubious acts of people having fake properties or family controversies on properties, banks are tired of using collateral. Now they don't give loans on collateral anymore, especially to new business investors, to new business innovators. They don't give all these things. They don't give all these things anymore. And the reason they don't give them is because they are tired of family disputes on properties and lands. So they just want to excuse themselves from that. So for that same reason, so they only give loans to existing customers who are already made. If your business is doing well, you go to the bank will give you money in Nigeria. So therefore, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, because the poor do not have opportunities to actually come up and grow. So now back to database. If everybody has individual identification number, which is biometric record of citizens, so such business people that have business ideas can actually walk gallantly into the bank without holding anything in their hand. All they need is just their business ideas, and there will be business specialists in the bank that will advise them based on the business, and they will get financial assistance in many of these financial institutions. When they get financial assistance in these financial institutions, guess what happens? They're not going to collect collateral from them. All they're going to do is collect from these people their biometric identification number. And when they get their biometric number, and they can report their cases to Bureau of Credit Records. The Bureau of Credit Record can actually monitor how they are behaving in paying all these loans back, because they have nowhere to run to. If they relocate from Lagos to Kano, the biometric record will always pop up, because it is a centralized database system. If they relocate to the interiormost village, if there's an English like that, to the interiormost village of the country, they will, if they like relocate to Zambisa or whatever they call it, so they will still find them out. They will bring them out with that biometric record. So there will be no reason to default bank loans, because it's going to stay on your record. It's going to affect you from actually surviving in subsequent years of your life. And therefore, there can be business insurance schemes. So that is another business. Business insurance schemes that are going to be happening all across everywhere in the country in order to protect, say, banks. Many of these banks, when they give loans, there will also be insurance that covers that loans in case the customer defaults. So they can always cover up such loans. All these things cannot happen in a country that does not have a centralized database system, because even if you create such organizations, they are going to fail, because these people cannot be identified.
See, first of all, this topic can never be exhausted in maybe even 10 sittings. We're going to continue, so that we can have our video not too massive, so people can even rewatch again, because I had to listen to the one we had yesterday again, because we need to have all of this information at our fingertips so that we can present it to them. But one thing that is still pathetic is the government, if you even give a proposal, if you even give, you know, talk to them on things like this, they just give you deaf ears, because nobody's interested in developing nobody's interested in moving the nation forward in the first place. They are interested in their own gains and all of that. I worked as a special assistant on secondment to a senator in Nigeria, senator, and there were so many things I was seeing from my vantage position, seeing how they're working, seeing people's in and out and all of that, the things they do. Then she was a member when I worked with her. She's now a senator. I said to her that we can do so and so, we can do so and so, we can do so and so. Just take my village where we're all from, for example, have an inventory of every ward, every person in every ward. You know how many wards make up the local government, because they know these things for the purpose of their votes. Put these facilities, every ward should have one of this, a borehole, a doctor's quarters, a dispensary, things like that. These people get constituency allowances quarterly, meant for the constituents to develop these places. But they take this money to enjoy their lives. Nobody's holding anybody to accountability. Will it work? Will somebody implement this? Are we just talking? Will anybody even look at this kind of things? Will anybody listen? Because sometimes you all they want is just to continue what they are doing. Even us as people that are standing for the truth, are we interested in topics like this? Or are we just interested in, or just only, talking about the wrongs? The wrongs are so there. But we need to start talking about steps to take, measures to take, solutions, how to go about it. So we need to begin to sit down and begin to create write-ups that we can send to those people. I don't get tired of speaking to my own senators and members, because we keep saying these things should be done. These things should be done. They may not be listening, but it will get to a point where we will stop them. We have to do it, because you can't be taking our money. We have the largest legislative personnel overhead cost, I think, in this world. Even the US has not got that number. Every constituency in the US will not, I think it's 2 senators. We have 3 for small constituencies. What are they doing? Excesses, wastage. And if you give them solutions, you don't know anything, because they're the ones that know, or just like the church, it's the pastor that knows everything. It's the pastor that conducts marriage. It's the pastor that conducts leadership training. It's the pastor that does
we
pastor
talk
that
about
does
that
financial
thing.
talk. Everything. Only you waka come. Just round up for us, and so that we have where we stop, so we can continue maybe tomorrow, maybe within the week.
Yes. So let me quick, because I've been able to brush through on that database.
Ezine said Nigeria was not designed to work.
so yes, the way she's right. The way we are going about things, definitely, obviously speaking, Nigeria was not designed to work. With the way we are going about things, especially structurally, Nigeria was not designed to work. And
when they come up with different toilet to airport with our toilet paper, and that's true. There's no toilet paper in the airport. It's not I'm laughing, but that's the reality. There are toilet on the water on the floor, flooded. Nobody's cleaning it at the airport. Hey.
So because that is what we are saying. Because we do not have a functional system, we are so much concerned about the structure. And now the structure is built. Nobody can even maintain it.
That's the same thing as the church. Nobody can structure, build edifices. That's all that matters to everybody. Church is structure. Even government build structure. What is going to occupy the structure? You know, person when don't chop belefufi waka go enter the structure.
Right. So what I tell people is this, and I'm gonna come from this value system perspective as my way of running up. Okay. What do you tell a child on the street, like I made an instance to you, I think, what was it, yesterday, I don't know. So what do you tell a child on the street who you expect to have such a value system? A child who is walking on the street, a child who who all she can do is to go to the farm and fetch firewood because they have to sell firewood to be able to exist, to be able to survive, for the family to be able to survive. So that child, as in, how can you build a value system in a child that that sells akara with the mother in order to be able to survive? How can you build a value system in such a child that every dick and harry, everybody, all and sundry will come to the mother to buy akara? When they come to buy akara, they will assault her, molest her, and the only way she can fight back is to abuse them, is to disrespect them, as a way of this. I'm telling you about practical things that happen on the streets. This is not an indoor thing. This is not in our closet. This is the reality on the street of life. So when children who grow up with their mother selling fried yam, fried plantain, akara at the junction of the street of Lagos, what value system are you going to instill in such a child, that the mother, they all have to sell as much as 500 naira, 1,000 naira every day to feed a family of 5-6 children? So, and when these guys come to buy these things, they molest the child, and the child fights back as they abuse them, disrespect these guys as their own way of fighting back, as their own way of fighting back. So at the end of the day, we talk about value system. This is, see, the effect of a failed system is what we are experiencing. Our country has failed. The system in the country has failed. Because the system has failed, it has been able to crack the walls of the value system, and it has brought to us a failed value. It has produced the type of human beings we have today. Why would you want to do business with even your own family members, and you're going to be scared of doing business with them? Why are you going to be scared of somebody duping you? Why are you going to be scared of having a little transaction with an average Nigerian, and you're gonna need to start praying and fasting for that transaction to go successfully? For crying out loud, if it is not a result of a failed system, how do you correct that? See, if an individual biometric record is put in place and you want to do business with somebody, first of all, you can always check the background of that person. As the person had any type of record that you're not satisfied with, because the biometric account will give us the information of such individual. So if you want to do the business with the person, once you have a legal documentation of the business you want to do with such individual, so the business will not be done without the system knowing about it. You want to do transaction. You want to do exporting and importation business. There has to be somebody who is receiving from somebody who is actually sending. So, and these things will not, as you want to receive something from Nigeria, you are going to receive with your biometric number. So we will know where the business will land. Whatever money that comes with it, we will know. So these are the things that we talk about when we talk about value system. So when there's a failed system as such a child that is molested, for example, how do you want the child to develop a value system? A child that has survived like that on the street all her life, that's all she knows. So what type of value are you developing in that child? And after she survives in that manner, and if she's a Muslim, good luck to her. She's probably going to get married in one of the polygamous homes, if possible, or maybe she's lucky she gets along with the monogamous home. So, but if she is a Christian, she's going to stay too long in these crusades.
Right. She has to go through her pastor to find husband.
She's gonna
See,
stay. She's gonna stay long in this crusade.
I've seen where someone went to church to the pastor to pray for them to let their goods be, released by custom. Meanwhile, those goods were contraband. And the person told the pastor that's why it was seized in the first place. But the pastor gave all the prayer points and said he was standing with him in prayer and declared 3 days prayer and fasting, which he also would do for those goods to be released. This is a pastor praying for contraband to be released, to be brought into Nigeria dumping ground. The value system problem is deep. It's deep. And it's a shame. It's a shame. This is not,
See,
and I know this for real because I know those involved.
contraband. You said contraband, and he told his pastor that this is contraband.
It was seized.
And it was seized. Okay. And he was looking for a way to get it out.
Aye.
Through bribery and all that.
Yeah.
First of all, when contraband in a system that works, when you bring in contraband to a country, you are bringing in contraband because nobody's going to give you their biometric and education number for you to do dubious thing. So you are going to have to use your own identity to bring in contraband into that country. So when you use your identity to bring in contraband, so apparently they already know that contraband is for you before it even lands. So by the time it lands, and you are not going to have a reason, the moment it lands, it is not, as you're not going to see the agency that deals with that contraband issue. You're not going to see them face to face because the system that works will only make you to pay through another channel entirely. Pay for your shipment, and they will clear it and deliver it to your doorstep or wherever location you need it delivered to. So if it is a contraband, the only thing you will be seeing that is going to be coming to your doorstep is
the police,
law enforcement agencies knocking at your door.
No, but the pastor
So
can
you will not even have a reason. Yeah, you will not even have a reason to know. You will not know. You will not know if you are in trouble or not, to a point where you have to go to your pastor to go pray or to do or to go do spiritual consultation. You will not know.
Yeah, because
so
the money they want him to pay, to get it released is too much for him. He doesn't want to spend that kind of money. So there's a shortcut. Pastor can do abracadabra.
Yeah.
I don't know the goods involved. Somebody says what were the contraband goods. I don't know. I didn't go into that details. I just know that this was what happened. I know the person's concerned. So whatever was in it, if it's contraband in our country, it is contraband. It shouldn't even come, but it comes in because we are porous in our borders. Everything can come in. Once you just give them some money at the border, you come in with your things. They seize it. You give them money, they let you go, and these things will come and kill people. Anyway, we must round up.
That is the situation we find ourselves. Yeah. That is what is going on right now. So the value system in general, in summary, the value system that we have in Nigeria, as much as we have a lot of value systems to actually fix in Nigeria, but we need to fix the system of the nation first before we address value system issue. But you cannot tell people to be respectful. You cannot tell people to behave. You cannot tell people to stop consulting pastors when the system that can allow them operate at their best is actually subjugating them to make such consultations to pastors.
But we have to be doing the two. Now we have to be speaking out and telling people not to go to pastors while we're waiting. Because if we wait till system is fixed before we say don't go to pastors, Funke will collect everything from them. So even when the system is fixed, by the time they are dead, we will be finished. Because what will people be eating? So it must go together. We must address the church matter. Stop going there. Stop giving them your money. Stop giving them money to build structures. That's what we're talking about now. I have sold money into Faith Tabernacle that is going to be built, 100,000 seater capacity. The 50,000 seater where we still build, never full finish, because of foolishness. So we must be stopping these things as we are moving along, because we can't leave that for now.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. You are very correct with what you're saying. Now I want to ask you this question. You sold so much into building that church, okay?
Yes. I do have my
where you are right now, and that country, with how much you make, can you afford to throw money the way you threw money in Nigeria into building a church in Nigeria?
I can, but I still was doing it. While here, I was still doing that. You can imagine that was the level of brainwash. While in December, a branch of Living Faith Church was built in Abuja. My husband, our family, paid for the windows completely. Windows of all the entire church. That's the main sanctuary, the offices, the primary school, everything. We threw that money away. Even here, we put more. See, the foolishness, the brainwash was deep, my brother. You work hard for it and still give it away. That's why we must stop them. If not, people will enslave themselves. People are working hard for these people. You can't work hard for another man to eat your benefits. Of course not. It's not allowed. You have to work hard and let them also work hard for their own. If he wants to build a church, let him go and work and build his church, and don't burden God's children anymore. We have
let me say this, okay? If we have a system that works,
yes,
you'll be amazed that if that system is gotten right today, many people will actually be in jail, including the acclaimed spiritual fathers. Many of them will be in jail because, first of all, they are not going to be able to give account of their financial activities going on in their church. That alone will put them behind bars. So there are many institutions whose leaders will rot in jail if we fix our system. So see, it is only that system. It is only that system that is collapsed that would make church begin to gather so much excessive accumulation of funds from different kinds of individuals. And such individuals, as much as they make the money, they're not reporting it to the government that this is what they are giving as donation. So in case you're asking me to pay taxes, on what I make, this is how much I'm giving out as donation. So can you exempt me from paying taxes on this donation? So by the time you tell the government, and the church itself will be able to, the church itself has to report, has to give account of who they are getting money from. Because by the time they have to report, see, all these churches that are exempted from taxes does not mean they're not going to report their financial activities to the government.
It's public funds. It's public funds. It must be. So, you have to give account.
Right.
Even if you're paying tax.
They still report their financial activities to the government. So in a situation where they have to report their financial activities to the government, and they have to include your name as the name of people that are putting funds in the church. And you also, the moment there's a missing gap in between that record, one of you is going to jail.
I can't wait for that day. That will be the dawning of a new era for my country. A lot of them deserve to go to jail. Yes, absolutely. Because by the time we start this, you have to give account. How did you buy a $40,000 Gulfstream jet? How are you funding it? Because the cost of buying the jet itself, leave that one. That's one. It must be maintained. You keep fueling it. You pay parking charges. You pay landing fees. You pay for your crew. You pay salaries. You stock it to those things they enjoy on board. This where from where? How from where? From my sweat. I'm going to begin to cry.
I asked somebody one question. Because he told me, he said the founder of his trust since 1988 gave a testimony that for like about 18 to 20 years, I don't know, I'm not sure of that account, about 18 years thereabout, that he had not he had that he gave the testimony that he had not actually gotten any type of payment from the church. He had not gotten any type of payment from the church, any type of salary from the church for about 18 years. And I asked, so he was trying to tell me the miracle of, as in the power of giving, the miracle that is incorporated in giving. So I asked him a question in an educated form. I said, please tell me, when you say your founder has not, for 18 years, he stopped collecting salary from the church, then where is your founder getting money from to feed his family? Where is your geo? Where is your, I mean, whatever the name is? Where is that person getting money from to feed his family? It is not a crime to get paid salary as a pastor, as a founder in the church, because you have to feed your family. And if you are giving testimony that for 18 years, oh my God, for 18 years you have been staying away from church salary.
I have an answer to that, Davidson.
For 18 years.
I have
so where are you getting this money from? And that's why I said we have a fair system, okay? Because for 18 years, you're not are you if the church is not paying tax, are you also the church?
So that is it. He is the church, because my pastor does not take salary for so many years now. Maybe it's the same person they are talking about. Yes, there is no account that you can trace to him as taking salary, but the whole money of the whole commission worldwide belongs to him. 10% of everything that is collected in any form of giving, whether you call it tithes, seeds, offerings, everything, is his own personal, goes to him, 10%. Then the rest 90% is at his discretion to service every other thing. So 100% of the whole funds is his own. True, he's not taking salary. Where is his salary account? You can't trace it. There's no such thing. But every money belongs to him. So what does he need salary for? That's just the answer. He doesn't take salary. That's true.
Wow.
But he owns the whole money. Every money is transferred to headquarters. Any money, even if it's in the Koro of Asia, Koro of East, Far East, Koro of Far West, anywhere in this world that they have a branch, the money is traveling back to headquarters. The moment that Monday, the service ends Sunday. In some cases, the money is carried in physical across, and that was what caused problems in some countries like Ghana with that church, because it passed it even through banks. Now you pay bank charges. See, at least let the economy enjoy 1% of this thing. No, so some monies are carried by cash. You know what happened to Brother Ojo? What is the account of MFM? They are passing the money through members. Money is all going to headquarters because one man owns it. So we serve one man's empire. We are all serving one person. If whichever church you belong to, you're serving that man's empire. That's the answer. So he's not taking salary. Absolutely true.
So now this is a naked loophole, okay, of a failed system, because this is a guy that is not paying any form of taxes to the government. This is a guy that is not accounting for how many people live in his household. He's not accounting for that to the government. He's not accounting for how many people are actually dependent under him. It's not accounting for that to the government. So, as in, because the government does not, the government might know him by level of popularity, by level of name, by level of his church, but they don't have him on record as a citizen of that country.
Hmm.
They don't have him on record as a citizen of that country because he does not have any type of account in a centralized database system that can actually account for him and say, you know what, even though you own a church, even though you own a business organization, despite the fact that, see, owning a church is just like owning a business organization. When you own a business organization, despite the fact that your company also pays corporate taxes, okay, you as an individual in that company, you have to pay as an employee, because whatever level of, whatever hierarchy of the company you belong, you are also an employee of that company.
Absolutely.
So
I pay
you
corporation
should
tax
be
for my
paying,
company. You declare
right.
zero if you don't have any sales for the year, but you must declare something to the system.
You must declare, exactly. So that's my point.
Yes.
You must
I
declare
pay. I
something.
declare for our company, River Plate Associates UK. We do. When there's no profit, it's declared. If it's 0, 0, it's 0, 0. But it must be declared because they are watching. They have to know there's something. We have to change as a nation. Honestly, Davidson. Honestly, we just have to round up now and go and cool off. It's painful, Sister Blessing, Stevie, welcome, my sister. Sister Blessing said she would have had a place in Buckinghamshire if she was not stupid. Yes, sister. At my house, house I saw on Bond Street that I love so much, but it's owned by a Nigerian who stole our money. That one for be my house. We didn't steal our money. We worked for it and we dashed them. Davidson, you're so wonderful, and honestly, what you're doing for us is, we know the ills of these things. We know all the problems. We want the solution. And you're working night and day to develop these things for our country. And we're just going to be trusting and hoping that they will receive sense too in that country and begin to implement these kind of things. And thank God you go to this, you lead some groups in the diaspora, you're head of plenty things, and you have the opportunity to speak to so many people in diaspora. You have the opportunity of speaking to all those our presidential aspirants, which you have spoken with a couple of them. These are the things we need. As much as we can reach out to people that will do things for us, we need to reach out to. We need to write proposals. We need to send it to our senators and our members. We need to keep doing it till they get tired, just like we're fighting for standing against deception in church, so that we'll push these people to the wall. Everybody's tired of them. I just want to say thank you to all of us. I packed all of the videos of Brother Ojo to Showore. We spoke with him and he said he wants to put this thing on Sahara and then let it go, keep going viral, because since MFM wants to fight everybody that is around town, Nigerians are in diaspora, we're going all the way. So I'm going to come up with him at some point. I'm just waiting for that to come out, because we fight and stand for one another. Our brother needs justice. The failed system of Nigeria, they carried it to here again. What kind of people be this? Them be winch, in the language of my brother Pararani. Them be winch. You pack your failed system, pack and come follow people, go reach Spain. You've carried your failed system to still fleece people. Go to America, go to US, go to UK, $1,000, still collect. You carry this system to fail system. You won't come fail the one when don't repair. It won't work. We'll not let them. Thank you, Davidson. Honestly, it's been wonderful. Just at the closing, what will you say? Where are we going to start from the next broadcast?
Yeah, well, we are gonna because so far I appreciate everybody that has been watching us, and I want to say a big thank you to everybody. So we have been able to talk about the introductory part of a functional system today, and subsequently we're going to be looking at how we can actually create that functionality in our system through a centralized database system that's gonna contain the biometric and education number of every individual, and corporations, ministries, agencies, and departments. All of them will be synchronized into one centralized database system. There was a guy I met that said, okay, that he calls it a river of database where everybody can fetch from. So it is still the same thing, a centralized database system. Everybody should fetch from it. You want to do anything in public health, you should fetch from that centralized database. You want to construct roads, you want to do road construction, you need to know how many people pass through that area per time. So you need to fetch from the centralized data to be able to construct that road, so that you can have a projection that in the next 10-20 years, this road is actually going to be jam-packed. Therefore, we need to expand it. We need to expand the road enough so that the road can actually accommodate the population that is going to increase in the next 10-20 years. That is database right there. So these things, we're going to be talking about the application of database system in our national development subsequently.
Thank you very much. You see, when we pass on the road and there's road works going on, and I complain, hey, road works, my husband will say, that is development. That is because they have projected. They know time will come when they will need to improve on it, expand on it, dig holes to add, fiber optics and all of that. They keep improving and increasing every day. We keep going backwards. I hope this works, because we need that database, like that person said rightfully, a river where we draw from, like the National Program for Immunization, for example. You need to know how many 9 months old to 12 months old we have per time, so that when they are bringing the immunizations for that for that sector, you bring adequate, so that every child gets a dose, so that there will not be an outbreak and there won't be failure. If you're bringing antiretrovirals, you need to know how many people have this infection, so that you can bring adequate. So without database, how will it even work in the first place? This is absolutely important and absolutely key to everything we're looking for. That river, we need it. Thank you so much for your wealth and for your labor, for your nation. We used to sing, or we sing the labors of our heroes past. Now we sing the labors of our heroes present, because this the DSA is a hero every time. He's looking out for solutions for his nation that he left many years ago, which he should even forget about. What concerns him with them, he don't go. His grandmother raised him, has passed away, waiting get there, but this is love, still pushing forward. I want this country to change. I want the continent to change. That's how he's standing for the truth. That's what you are doing. That's what everybody here is doing, with all our comments and everything. It's all about it. Our interaction is all part of it. I want to appreciate everybody, for everyone that's joined us and shared with us and interacted with us, so that we can all move our nation forward, so that Beji, we can go to airport and not need to be carrying tissue with us. In this, our tissue should be those small pocket ones, to touch nose and all of that. Maybe to go clean those things, you go and need, you go, water is flooded, you'll be sweating like like they are roasting yam in there. It's all kinds of stress. The wahala continues in every aspect. Even it's just too skin deep, which we have to start coming out. I am so blessed. Honestly, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Staizine. Thank you, Yaibeji. Thank you, Olise. Thank you. He says, I assure you, madam, we need Togo political. Togo, I don't understand, but I know that Showore agenda is already vision. Right. I'll read that comment later. We'll talk more about it. Thank you. Sister Blessing, thank you. Sister Blossom, thank you. Everyone, we thank you. For Sister Monica, thank you. Say thanks so much, Davidson, for coming to this platform to shed light on trending with my crime. Thank you, Sister Monica. Thank you, my brother Sheyi Caleb. We appreciate you. Thank you, Oriomi. Thank you, Michelle Swan. Thank you, Sister Blessing. Thank you. James Aliu. I've not seen you in ages, James. Welcome, my brother. Thank you, Sean Keys. Thank you so much, everyone. I may not be able to go through all. My big mentor, Shobe George, is watching. My doctor, thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Sister Chinwe, Van Izuri, I thank you. Thank you, Sister Helen D. Thank you, everyone. Sister Boli, thank you. Sister, every one of us, that Chinwe. I'm grateful. We appreciate you all, and please come back again with us. I will still post the time will come on so that we can come back and interact and write your thoughts, because these are the things that Davidson will be collating. That's why he's the data. He'll be collating all these things to talk about. It will add to what they're doing and what they will be giving back to this our country, so that people can receive sense and things can begin to work. Thank you, everyone. Davidson, thank you.
Thank you so much,
To be
Madam Macron.
continued.